Hey, it's Jang here from Ultimate RC and RCmania.com, the place for toy-grade RC reviews. This is the video to accompany my review of the Ignite RC Airsoft Justice Dealer. This is an approximately 1/12 scale vehicle. It's about 15 inches long, bumper to bumper. And that turret in the bed, well, that actually works. And as the name of the vehicle suggests, it is an airsoft turret. Yes, the vehicle drives and the turret moves up and down and left and right, and it shoots actual standard 6mm airsoft pellets. Now the details on this vehicle are pretty cool. You can see it has a lot of fine details, including rivet marks and a lot of indentations and marks just to give it extra texture. It has a nice camo job on it, has some realistic looking wheels, realistic looking treaded tires also, although the tires themselves are a little bit hard in their compound. What really surprised me was the suspension action on this thing. Look how much flex you can get. All three other tires are still on the ground. This thing has an actual 3-link suspension system in it with very soft springs all the way around, so that suspension really does work. But there are more hidden features. It is a 4-wheel drive vehicle with a motor and transmission in the front and one in the rear, and each has this little lever on it where you can switch between a high gear and a low gear. Low gear gives you nice slow crawling speeds and extra torque, and high gear gives you more speed. It has a switch on the bottom that allows you to switch between 4 different radio channels, so you can run 4 of these at once. And right next to that is a 6L AA battery holder. Whereas on top of the truck, there's another compartment for a battery. If you want to use a hobby-grade nickel metal hydride rechargeable pack, or buy your own from Ignite RC for about $20 with a wall charger, you can put that in there for even more runtime and more speed. Let's check out the controller. It's a pretty traditional looking twin stick controller. It does have your radio channel selector here, so you can always match up with the vehicle that you have. Forward and backward on the left, turning on the right, no digital proportional control. Your turret controls are back here. You've got your left and right. They're also up and down. Now both of these switches go up and down. It just cycles between the two. You can't choose between up or down. It just goes back and forth. And then these are your fire buttons. You have to hold down one and then push the other, just for safety's sake, so you don't accidentally shoot. Now this here is the slowest that this vehicle will go. This is with AA batteries down mounted in the bottom, and it's running on low gears. However, you can see that while it's pretty slow, it is able to get over pretty rough terrain, and that suspension is working out quite well, with the twin motor 4-wheel drive system pulling it over all of the little obstacles and bumps in the road. When you switch it up to high gear, you can see you get more speed out of it, enough speed that it actually leans over and turns from all that extra weight from the turret that's mounted up high. It's pretty cool, but still, honestly, really not that fast, but not so slow that it's completely boring either. It is faster with a nickel metal hydride rechargeable pack, which is what I've installed here now, but this is back on low gearing. Now you can see with the slower speed but the better battery that it has the power to punch through even more rough terrain. It's going through some fairly thick weeds that are, all the way up to the level of the bumper. It's got a little bit more rough terrain that it's actually going over, and it's able to just power through everything without slowing down. It will get caught up sometimes, but most of the time you can just get out of any situation you get stuck in. Now, here's where things start to get a lot more fun, where you actually take it up to one spot and then stop and switch your controls over to just using the turret itself. It can take a few tries to get a shot properly lined up because it doesn't have really fine controls, but once you do line up a shot, you'll find that that simple spring-loaded airsoft thing actually has a fair amount of power. You can see here that I'm hitting these leaves on this tree, and it is knocking them off. Although you probably could say, well, dead leaves on a tree, they're probably falling off anyway. How about if I shoot at some live leaves? Once again, lining up the shot, and then just firing directly from the turret. Let's go ahead and take a zoom-in look and see what kind of damage this thing can do. Even at a little bit of a distance, you can see the little airsoft pellets going by, but it's going right through this live tree leaf, and in a second it's going to get a really good hit, and there it goes. Ripped that whole thing right apart. This is the reason why the manufacturer suggests a minimum age of 16 years to operate this thing. It does have quite a lot of power behind it, and it can do some damage and it can cause injury if you're not careful with it. Just imagine if that shot went into somebody's eyes. That would not be fun. What is fun though is the Ignite RC Airsoft Justice Dealer. It's a pretty decent truck by itself. You add that Airsoft turret on it and it's just freaking awesome. Be sure to check out the full review at rcmania.com.